Welcome back to What Is, the channel where we take on life's biggest questions, break them down, and occasionally find ourselves staring blankly at the ceiling at 3 a.m. Today, we're diving into a topic as ancient as humanity itself, a concept whispered in cathedrals, chanted in temples, and mumbled under breaths during traffic jams. We're asking, what is prayer, and does it change anything? Now, before anyone grabs their theological pitchforks or scientific microscopes, let's set the stage. We're not here to preach, to convert, or to debunk any specific belief system. Our goal, as always, is to explore, to understand, and to perhaps shed a little light on one of the most widespread and mysterious human behaviors out there. So, let's start with the basics. What is prayer? Well, at its broadest, prayer is a form of communication. It's an appeal, an invocation, a connection, often directed towards a deity, a higher power, a spiritual entity, or even just the universe at large. Think of it as sending a cosmic text message, but without the annoying read receipts. It's not just one thing, either. It's incredibly diverse. You've got your formal, liturgical prayers, recited from sacred texts, passed down through generations. Then there are spontaneous, heartfelt pleas, born from moments of desperation or overwhelming joy. You have prayers of petition, the classic, please give me strength, or please find my lost keys. And yes, sometimes, the please let this meeting end soon kind. We've all been there, but it's also prayers of thanksgiving, expressing gratitude for blessings received. Prayers of confession, seeking forgiveness for missteps. Prayers of adoration, simply acknowledging the majesty of the divine. And don't forget contemplative prayer, which often involves quiet reflection, meditation, or just being present without uttering a single word. It seems the universe accepts silent calls too, so it's a spectrum, from a whispered plea to a highly ritualized ceremony, all falling under this vast umbrella of prayer. Now, the natural follow-up: why do people pray? What compels billions across the globe, throughout history, to engage in this practice? The reasons are as varied as the prayers themselves. For many, it's about comfort. In times of distress, uncertainty, or loss, prayer can offer a sense of solace, a feeling of not being alone, even if that connection is intangible. It's a way of offloading anxieties, like venting to a very patient, cosmic therapist. For others, it's about hope. When faced with insurmountable challenges, prayer can provide a psychological anchor, a belief that things can get better, that help is on the way, perhaps from an unexpected source. It's a powerful antidote to despair. Then there's the desire for intervention. People pray for healing, for safety, for success, for justice. They're asking for something to happen, for circumstances to change in their favor, or in the favor of someone they care about. This is where the rubber meets the road on our big question. Gratitude is another huge motivator. Acknowledging blessings, big or small, through prayer can foster a sense of appreciation and contentment. It's like sending a thank you note to the cosmos for that perfectly ripe avocado. And of course, for many, prayer is simply an act of faith, an expression of their relationship with the divine. It's a fundamental aspect of their spiritual identity, a way of affirming their beliefs and strengthening their connection to their community. So, we've defined it and we've explored the why. Now for the million-dollar question. The one that's launched 1,000 philosophical debates and scientific studies: does prayer actually change anything? This is where things get fascinatingly complex, because the answer really depends on what kind of change you're talking about, and from what perspective. Let's start with the kind of change that's arguably easier to observe and even, in some ways, measure: internal change. Does prayer change the person who prays? Many would unequivocally say yes. Think about it. The act of prayer often involves focused attention, reflection, and a deliberate shift in perspective. Psychologically, this can be incredibly beneficial. Research into mindfulness and meditation, practices that share some common ground with contemplative prayer, shows positive impacts on mental health. Prayer can reduce stress, anxiety, and even symptoms of depression. It can foster a sense of peace, improve emotional regulation, and enhance resilience. When you pray, especially when you're expressing gratitude or forgiveness, you're essentially engaging in a form of cognitive restructuring. You're training your mind to focus on positive aspects, to release negativity, and to cultivate compassion. It's a bit like giving your brain a spiritual workout. You might still be stuck in traffic, but your internal response to it might be dramatically less rage-filled. And that, my friends, is a change. Prayer can also offer a sense of purpose and meaning, connecting individuals to something larger than themselves. This can provide a powerful framework for navigating life's challenges, fostering a feeling of control, even if objectively, the external circumstances remain unchanged. It's the difference between feeling like a leaf blown by the wind and feeling like you're part of the wind itself, even if you're still going in the same direction. But what about external change? Does prayer actually influence physical events in the world? Does it heal illnesses, shift political outcomes, or indeed help you find those darn lost keys? This is where scientific inquiry often hits a wall and faith steps in. From a purely scientific, empirical standpoint, direct causal links between prayer and specific external outcomes are notoriously difficult to prove. Studies attempting to measure the effect of intercessory prayer, that's praying for someone else, have largely yielded inconclusive results. The variables are simply too numerous and too complex to isolate. How do you quantify divine intervention? How do you control for all the other factors that might influence a medical outcome, for example? It's not like you can put prayer in a petri dish. And yet, for billions of people, the experience of external change attributed to prayer is deeply personal and profoundly real. They point to miraculous recoveries, opportune coincidences, and signs that they believe are direct answers to their prayers. For them, faith transcends the need for empirical proof. Their prayer isn't a scientific experiment. It's a conversation, a relationship. And in relationships, things change. Perhaps the change isn't always a dramatic, Hollywood-esque intervention. Sometimes, it's a subtle shift in perspective that leads a person to take a different action, which in turn creates a different outcome. Or it's the strength and resilience gained through prayer that allows someone to cope with an unchangeable situation, transforming their experience of it. So, does prayer change anything? It seems the answer is a resounding, yet nuanced, yes. It demonstrably changes the internal landscape of the person praying, their mind, their emotions, their sense of well-being. And for those with faith, it absolutely changes external circumstances. Even if those changes manifest in ways that are beyond scientific measurement or current human understanding. Ultimately, prayer, in its myriad forms, remains a deeply personal and often profound human experience. It's a testament to our innate desire for connection, meaning, hope, and perhaps a little help finding those lost keys. And that, for now, is our dive into what is prayer, and does it change anything? It's a huge topic, and we've only scratched the surface. What are your thoughts? Do you pray? What does it mean to you? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this exploration, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to What Is For more deep dives into life's big questions, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. And as always, if there's a topic you'd like us to tackle, leave a suggestion. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and maybe, just maybe, keep those prayers going.